A very good evening to all our viewers. I'm Shivani Srivastav, Relationships Manager at Global Education and Training Institute. I welcome you all this evening to this session of GETI Life Talks. And today we have Dr. Sheela Nicholas, who is the clinical psychologist at ANS College in Telangana. Today, ma'am will be speaking on growing your kids in closer contact with nature. I once again welcome ma'am to our platform and over to you, ma'am.
Hi everyone, welcome to this virtual platform. Steinbeck, in one of his famous novel, The Pearl, describes the story of fishermen who went in search of pearls. Not every oyster contains a pearl. It is one in thousands that contains a pearl, but they are persistent on getting the pearl. The natural process of having a pearl is that a pearl forms when an irritant works its way into a particular species of oyster. As a defense mechanism, the oyster secretes a fluid to coat the irritant. Layer upon layer of this coating is deposited on the irritant until a lustrous pearl is formed. During this COVID-19 pandemic, we have irritant stuff. Our kids to have irritant stuff. We need to teach our kids to make it all pearls by growing our kids in close contact with nature and utilizing their power within. COVID-19 has brought about a complex array of factors: uncertainty, social isolation, parental anguish that have an impact on the mental health of children and adolescents. All throughout, predictability was a stabilizing force for children and adolescents, but it has been disrupted since the COVID-19 outbreak. Children look to adults for guidance. On how to react to stressful events. Most children will manage well with the support of parents and other family members, even if showing signs of some anxiety or concern, such as difficulty sleeping or concentrating. Some children, however, may have risk factors for more intense reactions, including severe anxiety, depression, and suicidal behaviors. If these risk factors are appearing, then we need to contact a professional if children exhibit significant changes in their behavior. Maybe the following factors, if we see in these three groups, we may have to consult the professionals for these risk factors. Why kids needs engagement in nature? In the early 1980s, Harvard University biologist named Wilson proposed a theory called biophobia, that humans are instinctively drawn towards their natural surroundings. But to our surprise, now many 21st century parents, however, would question this theory because they do not find their kids drawn towards nature, but they would find them sitting on a couch in front of a screen or playing outside. The national panic about kids spending too much time indoors has become so extreme that the crisis has a name: nature deficit disorder. While calling it a disorder might be merely rhetorical, it's clear kids spend significantly more time inside than outside. This shift is largely due to technology, due to TV screens, due to mobile screens, due to computer screens. As the world grows ever more urban, the lack of natural outdoor space could have lifelong consequences for our mental health. Growing up around greener spaces has consistently been linked to better health outcomes, and new research suggests these benefits could last a lifetime. It's one of the first epidemiological studies to show an association between less contact with the natural world in childhood and worse mental health in adulthood. Those who are not in relationship with nature have more prone for mental sicknesses. Our relationship with nature has historically been one of imbalance and overuse. At first, in fact, we had a very good relationship with nature. Humans were incredibly in tune with their surroundings. The nomadic hunter gatherer tribes used to roam the lands, following the retreat and flow of the season. These tribes had a measurable impact on the environment, but their influence was relatively manageable due to their population size. With advancements in technology and agriculture, though humans begin to find more efficient ways of sustaining themselves, these advancements allowed for more permanent settlements, which led to rapid population growth and a distancing from nature. Earth centered therapy is about healing and deepening the relationship between humans and rest of Earth's life. At this time, most of us as humans are living like renegade cells within the body of our Mother Earth, consuming her voraciously while failing to support or be truly supported by the living system of which we are part. If a child lives with criticism, she learns to condemn. If a child lives with hostility, she learns to fight. If a child is taught to be engaged in nature, she learns to love nature. Today's children may be the first generation at risk of having a shorter lifespan than their parents because they are glued to the TV screens. Their sedentary indoor lifestyle has contributed to childhood chronic conditions such as childhood obesity, asthma, and ADHD, and vitamin D deficiency, all of which have increased in prevalence. The human mental health and well-being are very much dependent on quality of the person's relationship with nature. According to the Indian medical system, Ayurveda, the universe and human beings are composed of five elements. And these five elements contribute to the physical and mental healing. Therefore, the human beings need to be in touch with these five elements, and that will contribute happiness and peace. Research has found that there is a relationship between lack of green spaces in urban areas and levels of stress. When there is lack of relationship with green spaces, the stress level goes high. The alienation and separation between human communities and the natural world leads to emotional problems and diminishes well-being of the person. The more we are alienated from nature, the more sick we become. The reunion with nature and human communities contributes psychological Therefore, reconnecting with nature is connecting with one's own broken self. Even without being aware of, we have the ability to compete and resolve this stressful experience and circumstances. When we become one with nature, we have this capacity to rebuild ourselves. A story is told of a group of students who were asked to list what they thought were the present seven wonders of the world. Though there were some disagreements, they received the most votes for the seven wonders. While gathering the votes, the teacher noted that one student had not finished her paper yet. And she bent down to ask, "What is her trouble?" And the girl replied, "Yes, I have a little trouble. I couldn't quite make up my mind because there were so many." The teacher said, "Well, tell us what you have, and maybe we can help you." The girl hesitated, then read, "I think the seven wonders of the world are to see, to see the wonders of the nature, to hear the melodies of the nature, to touch the softness of the nature, to taste the delicious taste of the nature, to smell the aromas of nature, and to laugh wholeheartedly, and to love genuinely. The room was so quiet you could have heard a pin drop. The things we overlook as simple and ordinary and that we take for granted are truly wondrous. And all these wonders we have freely available in the nature. So let us lavish it on our kids. Let us feast them with these wonders in the nature. Kids are often so overscheduled that they end up leading a time crunched life like adults. There are others who are so overhooked to the computer monitor and they barely know what is going on in the real world. Those who are so overprotected that they hardly step out of the indoor facility. As unfortunate as it may sound, all these events have brought us closer to the demise of outdoor play. Children today, most of them are not interested in the outdoor play. Kids who play outdoors in nature automatically learn how to take appropriate risk in life. They reduce their screen time. Many kids have 5 to 7 hours on TV, computer, or smartphone. As a clinical psychologist, there are many cases that comes to me for the addiction of the kids to the media. So the parents can do actually screen time rules work for our kids. Sometimes we are at fault too. We require the television. So we switch on a 20-minute break for our students. For my time in peace, I allow the kids to watch and they get into this habit of screen time. At the end of the day, when children are addicted, we are to be blamed. Engaging in nature not only improves mental health, it also improves physical health. One doesn't have to go to the park every day. Kids can plant something in a garden or go for a walk with you. Even on a terrace, in a flat, you can bring nature into your life. The nature that we see on television is far different in the real world. So the only way to experience nature to the fullest is step out of the doors. From the singing birds, buzzing bees, the taste of wild berries, beautiful sunset to the other quieter miracles, we will have to stop and experience nature in its fresh breath in some quiet location. No electric device can replace the natural association with Mother Nature. Direct association with nature has both mental and physical benefits. When you are in nature for for 5 minutes, you can experience that energy bustling in you. It has been proven to improve mood, reduce depression, and also reduce mental fatigue. Kids who are involved in regular outdoor play also benefit from increased flexibility and gross motor skills. More outdoor time also improves vision and reduces body inflammation. They become more healthy when they are in association with the nature. Moreover, it can help the kids with their academic life, which we are focusing here today, as well by improving their concentration levels. Your best bet would be to join your kids, which will also improve your health, your concentration, your happiness. A natural setting will ignite some of the best family conversation. When you're glued to your mobile, you lack communication with your kids. When you are in a natural setting, you have heart to heart conversation with your kids and share your love outdoors. Playing outdoor in the nature opens many chances. Moreover, it exposes them to varying situations where they are forced to learn and adapt the best to fit themselves in prevailing conditions. When they are engaged in play, they have to take risk. They have to see that uh, how to solve the problems. They climb on tree, other objects which help them understand the risk involved in the process. They become better in risk assessment. Tomorrow, when they are faced with risk, they are able to handle it because they learn it naturally. Even if they sustain a minor injury, something in them grows. They become more confident. They become confident in problem solving skills. The fear of outdoor is not shaping up our kids in a manner they deserve to live their life. A normal childhood is a childhood filled with healthy outdoor risk and adventure. So we need to become nature teacher to our kids. Teach them to enjoy the green meadows, point them the blue sky and the stars. Refresh them about the silver streams and the chirping of the birds. When the kids step outside, they get plenty of opportunities to interact with other playmates. In nature, they can connect with others, help each other, share their learning, and solve problems together. Nature can act as a great healing tool for kids who suffer from low self esteem. Kids exposed to the natural world experience a greater degree of self control, peace, and discipline. Armed with such gifts, a person's confidence level is sure to elevate to the next level. When they win in a game, when they climb a tree, they become confident that I can do it. The nature teaches them lessons of life. By bringing about awareness about nature, we could be saving our future generation from catastrophic events. Since kids are going to be the major game changers, associating with them the natural world will help preserve Mother Nature. So, in turn, not only that they get strengthened, but they also contribute for Mother Nature, protecting Mother Nature. Kids who play more in the natural world fall sick less often than those kids who restrict themselves into the indoor space. Regular exposure to the outside world boosts the immune system. As a result, a kid is able to combat illness better. They become more healthy than the other kids who become obsessed crouching into a sofa. When kids step outside, they get plenty of opportunities to interact with other playmates in nature. They can connect with others, help each other, share their learning, and solve the problems together. They collaborate to have the best experience. They adventure, they learn new things, they become curious and wonderstruck. Nature can be therapeutic in so many ways. It helps stimulate the senses, brightens your mood, and take your mind off negative thoughts. And engaging in the immediate world around you helps you to be present and mindful. But it can also help you to switch off mentally and find a sense of peace. It's especially useful for helping children to calm themselves down and regulate their emotions, to become mindful of the nature, to learn to quieten themselves, which will improve their concentration skills. There are so many different ways you can connect with nature, from going on a nature walk or a picnic to gardening, wildlife watching, meditating, forest bathing, or just simply sitting and listening to the sights and sounds around you. You can also conduct a nature scavenger hunt. Ask them to find out 5 things green that they saw. Ask them to listen to 5 sounds from the nature. Ask them to get in tune with the smells around in the nature. And let them pick up the goas, the lemons from the garden and taste it and become mindful of it. That improves their concentration. Find a comfortable place to sit or stand. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and listen to your heartbeat. These days, the kids are in now these days increasing with ADHD symptoms. To quieten themselves is very difficult for them. So attune them to meditate. Slowly tune the environment. Let them focus on the sounds and the air on their skin and the grass beneath their feet, on the ground on which they are sitting, or hear the running water, or the smell of the flowers, plant, and grass. They can also do a few more breaths and open the eyes, look at the colors, patterns, textures, the creativity which is available in the universe. See the insects, birds, and movements around them. What shapes are the clouds? Find a tree or a plant and explore the different textures of bark or leaves. Run your hands through grass or water, engage all your senses. This can be taught to the kids and they get attuned to the nature. Children enjoy water play. It is also a great calming sensory activity for children of all ages. You can easily add extra sensory elements with scented herbs, flavored oils, flowers, and other natural materials. Holy basil plant or mint are wonderfully calming herbs to use. But you could also use uplifting fresh lemon fruit slices and dried flowers to enhance the fragrance. Nature photography also children could enjoy. Art both are it is very therapeutic and mindfulness activities which help reduce stress and anxiety by engaging them in the immediate surroundings. You don't need a big camera for that. Even a phone camera will do. A fun snapping quick photos of the world around to capture. You could go at making some nature art using natural materials you find around you. You can ask them to gather flowers, make patterns using anything from leaves, sticks, stones, even with pebbles, they could make patterns. Even the waste materials, they can paint, make it art. Using natural dyes, they could also do paintings. It is surprisingly easy to make simple patterns like spirals, hearts, and circles. You need not be an artist for this. It improves their creativity. It is also found research shows that staring out of a window at a pretty scenery can significantly lower one's heart rate. For example, and some studies even indicate that hospital windows with views of nature can facilitate healing than the blank walls. So much more for the students or the kids, the natural scenery will improve their self immune system and healing. Did you know that children are spending half the amount of time outdoors than they did 20 years ago? And that they are suffering mentally, physically, academically because of it. Poor concentration skills and get addicted to the screen. These days, children can remember all the logos of advertisement than the names of 10 plants grown in their locality or their school campus. So we can ask them to name the plants around them, maybe medicinal plants, which will also improve their knowledge. Being in nature can reduce symptoms of some of the mental illness like ADHD and stress, and it is a booster of creativity. Playing in the nature improves their creativity. Increase attention span and decrease stress and anxiety disorders. It also helps them to reduce their anger and become calm. They can also learn from the creatures that is in the nature how to calm themselves. They learn many things from nature, from plants, from animals, strengthen the immune system and thereby to improve the academics. Deviation from nature is deviation from the inner happiness. Your school or home need not have a farm like I have a farm here, but you can bring nature to your school or home. Even children can, in small pots, small containers, terrariums, they can make little gardens, bottle gardens, container gardens. You need not have a big farm. No matter where you live, no matter what weather you live, you can get your kids to be in closer contact with nature. Help the kids to connect with nature through literature. The great nature poets and poetry can widen the horizon of imagination of kids. Those of us who cannot have the outside nature can also allow the children to read literature which describes about the nature, that which also increases their curiosity, improve their reading habit and reduce the screen time. Art can improve love for nature. Make your kids to engage in artwork that include material from nature. I use it for play therapy and I have found it very effective that children, when they play with art therapy, play therapy, their inner psyche is revealed. Take the child to small park. Observing new things can boost their creative imagination. Nature walk heals you of many stress related problems. So also the kids, when they walk in nature, their stress which you hand over to them will be also reduced. Kids who spend more time with the natural settings are less likely to be obsessed. The physical activities such as walking, hiking, playing can keep them active and also help them shed extra kilos. These days, the number of obsessive is increasing with the screen time increasing as the COVID 19 is prevalent. Spending more time on TV screen will also contribute for obsessive. Kids who spend a good amount of time outside are more prone to have positive thoughts. It becomes second nature to them to think more optimistically because nature teaches them lessons of life. As a result, they benefit all areas of life, be it academic or professional. Kids who spend most of their time in front of monitor have no idea how to manage things when the screen is not available. They do not know how to communicate with others. They do not know what else to do if the computer is not working, if the mobile is not working, if the screen is shut off. Interaction with nature offers them better alternatives to make the most of their time in life. So spending the time outdoors in nature is the best way to spend one's day. I have a recycled garden. Just I am showing you this that to have nature, you don't need a farm. You can bring it in your own home. These are all recycled bottles. All the items are recycled. You have the little pots, the plastic bottles, all. simple art which children will enjoy so that they have the joy of having a garden. So if you have a few bottles itself, you can make nature in your home. These are the old wine bottles which you can also use for growing plants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really wonderful listening to you and knowing how nature can be beneficial for the children. And of course, during these times when everyone has a prolonged screen time, schools, classes are going online. Uh, I just have a question here for you. How can the school, like when the school reopens, when everything is in proper line, proper order, how can schools bring the children closer to the nature?
The schools could also monitor to have some eco gardens in the schools, also foster some eco clubs so that the members of the eco club also take up activities like seed banking and then small plants planting for the school garden itself. They could do such kind of small activities. Seed gathering is very easy, that they can also, even in whenever they are having some fruits and so on, they can gather and they can also share that in the eco clubs in the school.
Right. I once again thank you, ma'am, for joining in and being a part of Getty's disruptive education movement and being here sharing your thoughts and views. Well, with this, we come to an end to today's session. We'll be meeting again soon with another very informative session. Until then, thank you and goodbye.